All right, day 97 of the 10 flip challenge. So getting ready to head to dinner, but wanted to hop on here. So the deal I posted about yesterday is now not going to go through. And the reason why is basically the seller didn't want us to basically get the deal locked up until we had our inspector out. So we had our inspector go out, and usually we don't do this. And basically, talk to the inspector and talk to a few contractors, and they were somewhere between like 70 to like 85, maybe 90 or so. Uh, so when I talked to the seller, I was like, hey, we're good to move forward. We just are going to have our inspection period, and we're going to get a few more bids because they came in a bit high, because the numbers would have been like a one. So we had it locked up for 125. I was going to sign it to myself for 5 or 10. So it'd be about 135. And if we're at 135 plus 85, ARV is about 280, 285, and it's just too tight. Like, I don't want to be there. I want to be realistically at about 190 if the ARV is going to be about 280. And she would not allow. She just was like, there's no inspection period. And this is actually the second deal that didn't want any sort of inspection period. We had another seller that we were close to signing with, really close, basically told us he was going to sign. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I don't want you to have an inspection period. I want you to come out to the property. So we had got into a bit of an argument, and like, he just became increasingly difficult. And I was just explaining why we have an assignment, why we have an inspection. And I thought he was okay with it. He told me he was okay. And then I was like, hey, look, I talked to him this morning, and it was a bit combative. And I was like, hey, look, we'll send someone out today, just get eyes on it, and then we'll waive the inspection. That's fine. And then he didn't respond. I called him up. He's like, I took another offer. And I was like, well, what happened to you telling me that we had a deal? And then he basically got upset with me and whatever. But it happens. I mean, this is part of the business. I took him at his word. And then I could tell he was getting upset. I told my partner that I felt it was on rocky ground, and the guy was kind of an asshole, realistically. But it happens. So on to the next one. But until I have an actual deal locked up, and I'm super confident it's going to go through, I'm not going to say I have a deal, because I don't want to post another like, hey, the deal fell through. So this would be my second deal that fell through, but it happens. Just got to keep chugging along. I did get 2 contracts locked up for wholesales/hotels for the company, but productive week, but we'll get back at it tomorrow. So thanks.